Huh? What? You woke me up. Will you check the clock for me? Oh, that's right, I gotta fucking do that. What? Night 10 o'clock? Yes. How many minutes? Whoa, 17 min! Night 10:17? No wonder it's so dark. Hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People call me the Pokemon Prof. This world is inhabited by creatures that we call Pokemon. People and Pokemon live together by supporting each other. Some people play with Pokemon, some battle with them. But we don't know everything about Pokemon yet. There are still yet many mysteries to solve. That's why I study Pokemon every day. Now, what did you say your name was? Gold, are you ready? Your very own Pokemon story is about to unfold. You'll face fun times and tough challenges. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. I'll be seeing you later. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and preface this with a nice little zoom in and out. So hopefully what I'm showing you now is okay, because like I spent a lot of time, and I'll be honest, that's partly why it put me off so much, on how I want to do this. I thought about emulation and I was like, okay, yeah, because that'll be clearer quality, but then I considered that one of the guys I want to put on my team is going to be Evolve versus Link Trade. That, and I also considered things like running it on Stadium. So for that reason, I hope that this is okay with you. I figured it's better to do this compromise rather than let you see as if we're playing Doom or something. So it kind of, the way I look at it, it doesn't matter how it's going to look. It's never up to its full potential. Not unless I get a Retron, which I don't think Retrons can do Game Boy 1? I don't know. But regardless, and I don't have that kind of money on me yet, we're going through it. Is there anything in our The answer is no. I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular I need to mention first. Oh, Gold. Yeah, that could be one reason I decided to go with Gold, because I didn't want to name it after me. When I did Fire Red, I named it after Red. There is no VA bullshit this time. That was just an experimental thing I wanted to try out. And it's, I kind of considered it for this, but I was like, let's keep the bad themes where they belong. Our neighbor, Prof. Elm, was looking for you. He said he wanted you to do something for him. Oh, I almost forgot. Your Poke Gear is back from the repair shop. Here you go. Yeah, that is just essential if you want to be a good trainer. Oh, the day of the week isn't set. You mustn't forget that. What day is it? It is the Thursday. Thursday, is it? Is it now, I hate this question because I never know the fucking answer. Is it daylight savings time? Yes or no? Just let me pick a month and then figure it out. I don't know. I don't know. So I always just hit yes. It's dark outside. That's all I need to know. That, and some countries don't do daylight savings. I think even Arizona doesn't. By the way, do you know how to use the phone? Yes. Yes, and she tells me anyway. Okay, so there's a thing. I want to preface this because I've been made fun of. But everyone's got their own 2 cents. I have no problem with reading all the dialogue, so I'm gonna do that. like, when I watch other people's stuff, I like it when they read to me, so this way I don't have to pause it and then do it. It's just kind of obnoxious to me, so I'd much rather be read to, and that's just my style. And I've heard sides on your audience isn't daft, and I've also heard I like being read to, so I don't know, it's just, you'll get over it. You guys dealt with me long enough. Now, we should carry on with that, but let's talk to him. So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? Yo, he brought the fucking smackdown on me. Gold, there you are. I need to ask you a favor. I have an acquaintance called Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about his discoveries. Anyway, I just got an email from him saying that this time it's real. Okay. It is intriguing, but we're busy with our Pokemon research. Could you look into it for us? I'll give you a Pokemon for a partner. They're all rare Pokemon that we just found. Go on, pick one. Okay, so I have changed a lot on how I want to do things, but I don't know. I changed a couple things. We'll get into it, but we got Chikorita's the Grassers. Think carefully. Yes. Important. And then we have Totodile. It's the same rock, paper, scissors deal as all the others. And Cyndaquil. Now, I've already dealt with Totodile for Colosseum, so that automatically rules that out. But I also have a much better idea on, like, when I first did this, I tried doing it the way I usually do it, you know, fire, water, electric, ground, fighting, psychic. That didn't work. So I realized my way of being successful at this game is to do everything that is not what I normally do. So we're going with Chikorita. So you pick Chikorita Grass? Yes. That's I think it's great too. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And we are going to name it... do I lowercase it? Let's lower... Do I? No, fuck it, I don't care. Lita. Now, this is totally random and has nothing to do with anything, but it's just the fact that it rhymes with Chikorita, and that always kind of drew me to it. There's never been any other reason. It's like Rita, Lita, so I always did that. I know coincidentally it's a female wrestler, but yeah, I don't know, it's just always what I've done. Mr. Pokemon lives near Cherry Grove, the next city. It's almost a direct route there. If your Pokemon is hurt, you should heal it with this machine. Yep, I know how to do that. Oh, here's my phone number. Call me if anything comes up. Bye-bye. Gold, I want you to have this for your errand. Only two of us who are always busy. Well, thanks. I'm glad you expect me to get my ass kicked. Anyway, let's head on out of here. So, it's gonna do standard RPG rules with me, where it's like I'll show it once, like any wild fights, and that's it. After it's been shown once, there's no other point to me doing it again. It's repetitive and unneeded. So right here, we got ourselves a Rattata. We'll show ourselves fighting this Rattata, and it's worth getting the EXP, but it's going to be super slow paced at first. That's just the way it is. This game's vastly different from Red. Now, it's really hard because, to me, I'm always going to think of Fire Red, but it's not fair for me to compare it to Fire Red because Red is really what this game's a sequel to, and it's so much better than Red. It is amazing, but at the same time, like, there are things in Red that I really miss in this game. So the first thing I want to give praise to is I find it super immersive when games do the whole day-night thing. So right now, you know, this is real for me. It's night outside, it's dark outside, and it's just one of those subtle little things that I love and I crave it. So I love that they did that. They did it so they could implement it with things like wild encounters and stuff. Now, originally, I was actually going to get my first team member here, which would have been a Pidgey, but that would have required me to play during the daytime, and I kind of dislike the idea of having to force myself to do it at a certain time of day, so I just opted out of that and replaced it with a different team member. But in other words, we would have had a Pidgey, like, first chance, because you can get on that route. Let's talk to this guy because he will help us give the map. I don't really care. I understand how to play a game, but just for the sake of it, we will amuse him. That is a Pokemon Center. We know how to do... Okay, here's the thing I wanted to complain about. Because I've actually been playing the 3DS version a lot recently. And it kind of surprised me that they still asked me to input things like, you know, the date and time and all that. I'm like, it's got an internal clock and stuff built in it. So why do you need me to manually input this stuff? So that kind of annoyed me, but it's whatever. It's my house. Thanks for your company. Let me give you a gift. See, now we got the town map. Yep, that's great. Now, the thing that gets me though is I don't exactly remember everything important, so I will be running around talking to a couple people. Pretty sure no one in this town gives you anything of importance, but just for the sake of it. That's like, this game plays a lot differently in the sense of like dungeons. So, like, when you did Red, you're hopping into Mountain Moon or Viridian Forest and all that, and there was stuff to fast forward. As to for this game, I don't think there's anything like that. There is one area I will fast forward, purely because it's super early in the game, and it's just going to take too damn long. And I think it's a better idea than cutting out the fights themselves. So that's my plan. But it's just, it has to be fast forwarded because it's so early on, and it's too damn painful to sit and watch me tackle 12 times in a row. That was another Rattata, which, Rattata, that's what I always called it growing up. That's a normal type. It's just fast, and that's about all it's got going for it. It does learn a good move that can cut your health in half, which is useful, but other than that, I've never really cared for it too much. What do you have to say? You know Pokemon eat berries. Yep. Yep. They introduced items into this game, which, you know, it changed it up quite a bit. So, basically berries are just automatic heals and stuff. Alright, cool, we can keep talking. But yeah, no, like, so, you can have them eat a berry and then regain health and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. But here's Hoot Hoot. Hoot Hoot is the nighttime counterpart to, Pidgey, which would have been during the day, and that's primarily why I decided to say fuck it. Hoot Hoot is more defensive based, but it learns some pretty cool stuff. I remember, well, I don't know. I always think of it like back at the in Coliseum when you're starting off and all that, and it's one of the first ones you get. It's an Octal technically, but fuck it. I remember being able to do I was impressed with myself, a Noctowl impression. I'm not about to do it now, but yeah, that was a thing I remember being like, yeah, I'm so good, I can do this. Please stop growling at me. It's quite annoying. And I am playing Silver, which, I mean, that should have been obvious from the zoom out. The primary difference is exclusives, and in this case, Silver actually has different sprites for a lot of their stuff. So, Gold and Crystal, oh my gosh. Gold and Crystal share sprites as to where Silver has its own unique artwork. So, yeah. And it's considered the odd one because Gold is like fire, or like red, you know. Sun and Moon. Ruby and Sapphire, you know, it's the first. This is gonna get old really quickly. Okay, yeah, but that's what I was getting at. Was like I don't know. When I think of the second game, is typically the one most people don't go for. You always get the first one, red and blue. Blue's just kind of there, but at the same time, Moon was considered better selling than Sun. Hello, hello. You must be Gold. Professor Elm said that you would visit. Oh, good. This is what I want Professor Elm to examine. I know a couple who run a Pokemon daycare service They gave me that egg. I was intrigued, so I sent mail to Professor Elm. For Pokemon evolution, Professor Elm is the authority. Even Professor Oak here recognizes that. If my assumption is correct, Professor Elm will know about it. Aha, so you're Gold. I'm Oak, Pokemon researcher. I was just visiting my old friend Mr. Pokemon. I heard you were running an errand for Professor Elm, so I waited here. Oh, what's this, a rare Pokemon? Let's see. I understand why Professor Elm gave you a Pokemon for this errand. To researchers like Elm and I, Pokemon are our friends. Areour. He saw that you would treat your Pokemon with love and care. You seem to be dependable. How would you like to help me out? See, this is the latest version of the Pokedex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. Go meet many kinds of Pokemon and complete that Pokedex. But I've stayed too long. I have to get to Goldenrod for my usual radio show. Gold, I'm counting on you. You're returning to Professor Elm. Here, your Pokemon should have some rest. I'm depending on you. Yep. So here's one thing, because I know I said it in Fire Red, and that was like, it's catch 'em all, so catch them the fuck all. But here's the issue I have with this game, is that in the original, or in Fire Red, you can argue, the point is you caught them so this way you could get rewarded. You had to catch 10 so you could get, what was it, Cut or Flash or something like that? You had to catch like 50 so you could get the EXP share. You had to catch, I think it was like 60, 70 or something like that, so you could get post-game. So there was a point to doing that. But for some fucking reason, they just abandoned that, and they're like, fuck it, it's there if you want it. And there's not really a point in me caring too much about it, so I'm not going to. Now granted, since this is on Stadium, at some point on my own time, I will go ahead and do that. But I can also hack in any single Pokemon I want, so if I want to fight a fucking Celebi, I can go get a Celebi. Which that is a thing, I will have to use cheats when it comes to grinding, but that's about it. Everything else is legit.